Hey everyone, my research title is all about sustaining food security and health through indigenous knowledge, a study on traditional plant-based practices in Rizal, Zamboanga del Norte, presented by Crestine Indigenous knowledge systems and practices, or IKSP, have long been integral to the survival and well-being of many communities worldwide, particularly in rural and indigenous societies. These traditional knowledge systems encompass a wealth of environmental, agricultural, and medicinal wisdom that has been accumulated through generation of interaction with nature. In the face of rapid modernization and climate change, however, much of this knowledge is at risk of being lost, recognizing that the importance of IKSP is not just about preserving cultural heritage, it is about sustaining effective and time-tested solutions for food security, healthcare, and environmental adaptation. Many local households rely on indigenous plants for food, traditional medicine, and environmental conservation efforts. Framework. So this study is featured in the traditional ecological knowledge that indigenous communities have cultivated knowledge systems through generations interaction with their environment. The importance of traditional knowledge, biodiversity conservation, sustainable agriculture, and climate adaptation. Additionally, cultural transmission theory provides a basis of understanding how indigenous plant knowledge is passed from one generation to another. This theory highlights the mechanism through which knowledge is transferred, including oral traditions, mentorship, and experiential learning. Finally, the climate change adaptation framework, relevant in assessing how indigenous knowledge contributes to environmental resilience. It suggests that local communities develop adapted strategies to mitigate the adverse effects of climate change through traditional ecological practices. Here is the research objectives. Ecology, qualitative data collected through interview. Category, demographic and personal information. Knowledge of traditional plants and use of plants for food, knowledge of traditional plants and their use of medicine, observation climate change, cultural and ritual practices and plant usage, adaptation to climate change. And the details is age is 64, gender female, location West Poblacion of Rizal, Zamboanga del Norte, occupation DSWD, years in the community is 50 more years, common plants Kamunggay, Alagbati, and Gabi, handlib on or gabon for cough and illness of the body. Plants dying due to the weather, traditional harvesting, harvested without damage the plant's base, preservation of traditional practices and methods. Discussion and analysis. Theme 1. Sustainability and traditional ecological knowledge. Findings. Elders play a significant role in preserving traditional plant knowledge. Interpretation. The elders play a significant role in preserving and extending knowledge, methods, and practices through generations. Theme 2. Food and health security through indigenous practices. Findings. Local plants are vital for both food and medicine. Interaction. For the people living in rural areas, local plants are used for survival. Theme 3. Climate change and its effect on local agriculture. Findings. Weather shift, heat, and unpredictable. Interpretation. People in a community are experiencing weather shift, making theme 4. The need to adapt and adapt to new ways of survival. Theme 4. Preserving of cultural heritage through ritual. Findings. Traditional ritual and practices are essentially for maintaining plant efficiency and cultural identity. Interpretation. By maintaining these traditional rituals and practices, community can preserve their cultural identity and ensure the continued effectiveness of plants used for various purposes. Theme 5. Knowledge sharing and extending through generations. Findings. Younger generation are learning plant-based knowledge from elders. Interpretation. These transfers of knowledge ensures the continuation of traditional plant-based practices, customs, and beliefs, preserving the cultural heritage of the community. Major findings. Themes. Sustainability and traditional ecological knowledge, food and health security through indigenous practices, climate change and its effect on local agriculture. The patterns is resilience on indigenous and local plants, traditional cooking and preparation methods, use of plants for healing and medicine. Findings is elders play a significant role in preserving traditional plants knowledge. Local plants are vital for both food and medicine, use of plants for healing and medicine. This research will provide valuable insights into the cultural practices related to plant use for food and medicine in Rizal, Zamboanga del Norte, while addressing the critical issue of the climate change. It will also empower the community by preserving their knowledge and helping them adapt to the challenges posed by environmental changes. The study will highlight the important role that social workers can play in facilitating this process and ensuring the community's resilience in the face of environmental shifts.